Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to World of Tanks here with the M3 Lite for a review. Um, with the M3 Lite being a Tier 3 premium Russian light tank. This light tank is basically the Lend-Lease version of the Russian, or well, of the American M3 Stuart. I got this tank years ago when it was given out for free, who knows when. Um, Probably some Christmas or New Year's gift. Not too sure, but I got it for free, and I did want to play some nice 50s American music whilst reviewing this tank, but not too sure if it was copyright. Didn't want to get copyright strike in case it was. It was things like Jingle Jangle Jingle from yeah, well, they're all pretty much from Fallout because when I downloaded Fallout New Vegas, it gave me all the songs on the Galaxy News Radio. Don't ask me why they were in the Fallout New Vegas folder for a radio. Um, for it was like Galaxy News Radio or something, and there are just songs in there, and it was all the 50s music. So you've got Jingle Jangle Jingle, you've got Stars of the Midnight Range, you've got what else was in there? You've got let me check. Oh yes, you've got Way Back Home, Anything Goes. You know, all those lovely songs that are much better than songs of today. Yes, I know, I've probably annoyed some people who are like, oh, dubstep and rap, they're the best ever. No, they're not really. The 50s, 40s, 60s were the best. Were the best songs, I think. They're all just so happy and have such a good beat to them, and it's. But anyway, that's 50s music. This is a 40s tank. May even be, I don't know, 30s possibly? Probably 30s. But yeah, so this is the Russian equivalent of the M3 Stuart. And actually, talking of M3 Stuart, let me sell this Panzer 1C because Firemonkey told me to purchase myself a Panzer 1C. And yeah, so let's just sell this to get ourselves a garage slot, 760. There you go, let's just sell that, there you go, and let's go to the tech tree. Let's go to America. America M3. Oh, I don't actually have the M3 Stuart researched. Oh well. Let's just do that then. And I don't have enough to research the M3 Stuart. Right, well. This thing. Um, Great turret name. Great turret names. Yeah, D37812 and D39673. Definitely the M3 Stuart names for the turrets. Yeah, good job there, Wargaming. I mean, they may actually be called D with a string of numbers, but I don't know because this thing isn't. Oh no, this thing is. Okay, the Stuarts must have been numbered and for their turrets because that's definitely a Stuart turret. Okay, sure, makes sense. But yeah, so this is a tier 3 light tank, not a medium. It's a light tank. 220 hit points, which for a tier 3 is pretty good. 230 for the Toldi 3. You've got 320 for the Grob Tractor or Gross Tractor, whatever it is. I just like saying Grob. Then you've got the Panzer S35 with the not particularly good Somya, 250, 260. You've got 230 for the T70, 220 for the BT7 artillery, so it's slightly less than average, but only by about 10 hit points, and after all, this is only Tier 3, even though you go up against Tier 5s who can probably 1 or 2 shot you anyway, KV1, Churchill 1 for example. But yeah, so for a Tier 3, it's 220 is it's alright. 12.21 tons, 12.5 load limit with the Stuart E1 tracks. So, yeah, but the engine is only 268 horsepower. However, because it's so light, it travels at 61 whole kilometers per hour top speed with 40 degrees per second, and it has a 21.94 horsepower per ton ratio. And if we bring up the Stuart here, the M3, there it is. The top engine for this is the Continental, and that has a 350 horsepower engine. What is the engine in this vehicle? This is the Continental W670. Is there a W670 in the regular Stuart? There you go. 670. There it is. That's got 262 horsepower, because, Stuart. Um, but yeah, so let's get up that turret, drag that over there, bring up this turret, drag it over there, bring up this gun, drag that over there, and then I think it's the M5 gun that the Stuart uses. There you go, let's bring that up. There you go. So those are the two upgraded tons. Those are the two guns and the two turrets. So yes, 40 degrees per second of hull traverse. Don't know what the Stuart is. The regular M3, I don't know. It's probably the same sort of thing. With the hull armor, 38, 25, 25, which is not really that good. The Panzer II will struggle to get through the higher armored 38 millimeters, but yeah, it's Panzer II. It's an autocannon, and the turret, which is the D blah 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 blah, has got 38, 25, 25 turret armor. They're both the same, so it didn't matter that I was looking at the wrong thing. And this should be it. Yes, it should. So yeah, once again, let's bring that up. They're exactly the same turret. They are exactly the same in every respect, actually. 38, 25, 25, 38, 25, 25, 40, 40, 20, 280, 280, 1, 250, 1, 250. The only reason that this does not have a different, or the only reason that the M3 Lite doesn't have a different, maybe 1 degrees better turret traverse, or perhaps weighs less or something, is because this was in the game much earlier than the actual M3 Stuart, I'm fairly certain. Or it may not be, I don't know, the Americans were the 4th, I think. I don't know, 4th or 3rd nation to get put into World of Tanks, so but yeah, so there's the non-upgraded Stuart turret. The upgraded Stuart turret, slightly better. Side and rear armor, you've got 38 still at the front, but 31, 31 compared to the 25 and 25 of the M3 Lite. But then again, it's only side armor, and rear armor, so who really cares about that? 48 degrees per second turret traverse instead of the 40 of the M3 Lite. 330 view range instead of the 280. 1700 weight instead of 1250. So yeah. The upgraded turret is obviously better on the M3 Stuart because this is the stock turret on the M3 Stuart. However, it is the only turret on the M3 Lite. Moving on to the gun now. The gun that the M3 Lite gets is the gun 37mm M5. 37mm, 24 rounds per minute, which is pretty good. 48 average pen, 70 with APCR, and 19 with high explosive. So yeah, the pen is not particularly that good. Looking at other 37s, what's this? That's a 45. Let's get up the 37 ZIS 19. 58 average penetration for the ZIS 19 on the T70. So yeah, there's that. The Sonya only uses 47s, doesn't it? Yeah, which means that the Panzer also only uses that. That uses a basically 2-pounder, so that's 40, so I can't really compare it against anything else. But bring up the Stuart's non-upgraded gun will, yeah. But, yeah, so not particularly good penetration. Alright penetration with APCR, but you're still not going to be penning any KV-1s from the front. Only 40 damage as well, 50 with high explosive, but then again it's high explosive. What are you going to penetrate with 19 pen other than medium 3s and medium 2s of the British? 0.46 dispersion, which is pretty inaccurate. That's terrible dispersion. That's like Russian tank dispersion level right there. Decent aiming time though, 1.9 seconds, and only weighs 78 kilograms. Comparing it to the gun on the regular Stuart, you've got 37mm, 24 rate of fire rounds per minute once again, 48 still the same average damage. However, well, it has the same dispersion at 100 meters. However, the Stuart's one aims at 2.1 seconds instead of 2.9 of the Lite, and they both still weigh 78 kilograms. And the upgraded gun for the Stuart is still a 37mm, but it is the M6 gun instead of the M5. So, yeah, fires faster, slightly, 26.09 instead of 24. Slightly better pen, 56 instead of 78. Still 19 with high explosives, still 40 across the board. 0.41 dispersion, which is not particularly good anyway, but slightly better. And also aims slightly quicker, of 0.2 seconds quicker, as 1.7 instead of 1.9. Weighs slightly more, 82 kilograms instead of 78. So yeah, the gun is not particularly that good. It's only a tier 2 gun going up against tier 5 tanks at the most, because this tank does not get premium matchmaking. But you can't buy in the regular tech tree, so yeah. With 100% crew plus improved vents, I have got my reload down to 2.34 rounds per minute. 40 turret traverse speed, which is the same as a hull. Yeah, gone over that. The turret. Terrible view range and signal range though, which sort of defeats the point of it being a light tank. 280 and 325. I mean, that is terrible. I mean, the Somya is a medium, and that has better signal range and view range, even without the upgraded. Signal signal box, aka radio, which costs a whole load to unlock on the Somya. So yeah, the BT-7 artillery, terrible. Then again, it's still Russian. T-70, better at least. The Panzer, better. Globtractor, better view range. Then the Toldi is just that's the Toldi. So yeah, it's not a particularly effective light tank, really. I mean, you can blast around like a rocket, but that's about the only thing you can do. I mean, in a tier 3 game, you will be able to penetrate things, yes, because 48mm of penetration will get you through Panzers, definitely Globtractors, the Toldi, the BT-7 artillery, T-70 Somyas. I mean, none of these things will give you real problems, except for maybe the Somya, because that has 47 frontal hull, and you only have 48 average pen. So yeah, only the French will really deal with you problems at tier 3. However, tier 4 and 5, you've pretty much got to be a spotter. And in regards to being a spotter, 280 view range, 325 signal range. Yeah, that's pretty terrible. I mean, what I'll actually do is I'll go training. Actually, no, let me reset that to 90%. So, yes, he'll lose 2%, but yeah, let's go that. Reset all skills and perks. He won't lose any of his actual skill, which is good. And let's give you signal boosting. There you go, enjoy. And the gunner. Let me see, reset you. Don't think I want you on camo, because it's not going to help anyway. I got this tank way back when I was still a bigger noob than I am now. So I was like, oh, I get free camouflage if I train my camo skill. No, it doesn't actually add camo to your tank slowly over time, which is what I thought. Unfortunately, it doesn't do that. But yeah, let's train you with Deadeye, because yeah, Deadeye, why not? So yeah, training that and that. Yeah, that's alright. So yeah, just resetting some of my crew skills now. So in tier 5 and 4 battles, you're meant to be a spotter, but you can't do that. The only thing that you can really do is Suicide Scout, and even then, if you do manage to spot something with 280 meters view range, you're still going to have a problem relaying it to your rest of your team. I mean, that signal range, that view range, terrible. So yeah, tier 3 game, you're going to be better off, but still not that good. So if your consumables, all your regular consumables, you do hold 103 rounds of M74 or M51 AP or APCR ammunition, and you will probably be just spamming it at people. As for your equipment fit, I have obviously used up all 3 of my equipment slots. So I've obviously equipped improved vents, because scout tank, anything to get the rate of fire up, and the gun reload time down. Spool liner, hold off on that. You're only a light tank, and you're a Stuart at that. So, Camonet, yeah, you're meant to be a spotter because you're a light tank, but yeah, that's not particularly. Yeah. Um, yeah, you're not a particularly good light tank, really. Um, so yeah, about that. Binos, once again, if you're going for scout tank, you probably could get your view range up to decent levels, but I mean that's if you're willing to spend lots of money on coated optics, binos, and a camo net. So yeah. Um, Moving on from binos, you've obviously got coated optics, which is what I've chosen to do because it means that you don't have to stay stationary. It just adds plus 10% view range to up to a range of 500 meters, which is nowhere close to what you're going to be able to get the M3 up to. But um, yeah, I just chose it because it means I don't have to sit still and camp like a scout, a very ineffective one. It just means I have constant plus 10% view range, which is I think more beneficial to this tank than binos. But yeah, enhanced gun lane drive. You don't need it really. 1.9 seconds is very good. Um, so yeah, hold off on enhanced gun lane drive, and then I didn't know what else to put. Um, So instead, I just put toolbox because toolbox is wonderful. And then you've got a crew of four. You've got your commander slash loader, your gunner, your aimer, your driver, and then your radio operator. So for your commandant, I am going Sixth Sense because at that time I knew that Sixth Sense is going to be useful to a scout, so I am training Sixth Sense. Then you've got Safe Stowage, which if your ammo rack keeps getting damaged, then sure. Um, Adrenaline Rush, yeah, that's always useful. Intuition to swap between AP and APCR. Yeah, you're probably going to be carrying around a lot of APCR in order to actually do any sort of appreciable damage, but even then it will be a very expensive game for you to run. So, yeah, if you're using lots of APCR, then sure, go with Intuition, but yeah, I make tanks work without APCR, but I mean, I can understand why you carry around a lot of APCR. Many people do, so yeah. Eagle Eye is also always useful. I have it on my TOG, I love it. Both the TOG and Eagle Eye. Jack of all trades if you want. Recon, definitely on this tank. Get that terrible view range up to standard, you know, decent-ish levels, and then Mentor, I don't really see the point in when there's so many more beneficial to this tank. So yeah, Gunner I am going with Deadeye, as you saw me change to, because yeah, when you do penetrate you'll want to do lots of lovely module damage, to make your shots slightly more effective. Snapshot you could go with because you'll have to use this tank as a flanker, really. That's how this tank has been set up to you. So yeah, you'll want to go with Snapshot. As well. Armourer, increased accuracy of damage gun is pretty inaccurate this gun, but I mean, sure, if you want. And Designate Target is always useful, get one more shot off to bounce off that enemy target. So yeah, sure, go with that. Clutch Braking, definitely useful to a scout, make yourself more manoeuvrable. You don't particularly need it because 40 degrees per second is acceptable. Hold reverse, but yeah, sure. Go with clutch braking. Go with clutch braking. If you keep getting set on fire, then preventive maintenance improves accuracy when firing on the move. Still, once again, not particularly that accurate anyway, but sure, you could go smooth ride for when you're circle strafing people. Off-road driving reduces ground resistance. Yeah, sure. That's always useful, and controlled impact if you're ramming things, which is the only way you're going to kill people, really. So sure, you can go with that. Signal boosting is a must-have. The same with situational awareness. Relay, wait until you've got signal boosting, then call for vengeance. Wait until you've got relay and signal boosting. And then that is your crew of four. You've obviously got your common skills for all of them as well. So yeah. Overall, this tank, in a tier 3, 4, or 5 game, be a fast breakthrough tank to just sort of like avoid their shots and then get around their sides and rear. Perhaps go for a distracted enemy and just keep putting shots into the rear of their tank with your pretty terrible penetration. I mean, to put this into context, even if you were doing that, even if you were going circle strafing people, you still wouldn't be able to penetrate the Matilda anywhere with regular armor piercing. 55 rear hull. You're never going to get through this in an M3 Light. Um, Even the Valentine, 60 at its weakest of the hull. I mean, you're not going to be able to get through that with regular ammo. You may even struggle with premium ammo. The AMX, you're not going to be able to get through. I mean, 40 at the rear, but then again, it's pretty well sloped on the rear. I mean, I do like the AMX 40. The B1, I mean, you're going to struggle to get through the turret, even. 46 turret armor. I mean, I did say in my review of this, go and check out the B1 review, is that the weakest point of this tank is really the sides and rear of the hull, of the turret even, because the front gun mantlet, you can actually bounce off of that. That does make it stronger. However, the sides and rear of the turret, yeah, those are the weak spots. But even then, in an M3 Light, I mean, you're going to struggle with that. And these are only Tier 4 tanks. Moving up to Tier 5, Crusader, yeah, sure, you can get through that because it's hardly armoured at all. I mean, it's a terribly armoured British tank. Then you've got the Sherman. The turret, that's going to prove your problems. And the front. The sides, possibly. They're only 38, but... You know, the Black Prince, Matilda Black Prince, that's also going to give you problems. You can't penetrate that with regular armor piercing. Even the good old churchy one, 50 rear hull, that's going to give you problems. T-34, 45, but sloped, that's going to give you problems. Matilda 4, can't pen that. Churchill 3, same thing with the churchy one. You're not going to be able to get through that with regular ammo. I mean, barely even with APCR. SU-85i, that's still going to give you problems from the rear of the hull. Side the hull, not so much. It's only 30, but I mean, this will still give you problems. The Type 3, yeah, okay, that's not going to give you problems. 25 and 20, so yeah, that's not going to give you problems. But I mean, most of these tanks are still going to give you problems. I mean, like I said, even down at Tier 3, your own tier, that's still going to give you problems. I mean, 36 frontal hull. Well, maybe the Panzer S35 isn't a good example, but you know, Somya 47 front, turret 40, 40, 60. I mean, that's still going to give you problems from medium to long range, even fairly close range. That'll probably still give you problems. So, yeah, lots of probably in problems there. But yes, overall be a flanker, but even then, just go for tanks that you can actually do something when you do flank them. Either that or go artillery hunting. I mean, that's the only thing that I can say to you. So, yeah, the M3 Light, the premium Russian, that you don't actually see many of. I haven't really seen that many M3 Lights around. I've seen M3 Stuarts, but M3 Lights are much rarer, so... Yeah, I just keep it because it's, well, my first premium tank that I got for free that I have kept all the way up until now, and still will keep it because I quite like it. But yeah, so the M3 Light. I'll thank you for watching, and goodbye.